Hey y'all, Sarah Ansboury here, and I got more questions coming from you as the subscribers. And this one, I might have had the same question 100 times, and I love it. And I use this as an example a lot when I'm working with coaches. And what the question is what's really the difference between a 3-5 and a 4-0? Or a 4-5, 4-0 and a 4-5, what's really keeping that person to the next level? And honestly, it comes down, especially at the 3-5, 4-0 level, is positioning is always our primary. And what I see a lot with 3-5s and low-level 4-0s is they're moving way too much. Okay? So they're so busy like moving around the court that their paddles get caught here. So a couple things happen. Number one, the ability to dink in the air is very, very hard. Number two, if I'm down here and my opponent hits a ball at this angle, I'm now chasing this ball and I'm out of position. So one of the things that we work on at that next level is maintaining your position. So you're not giving up your position as often as possible. You're saying, hey, this is my space. And a lot of that comes by dinking in the air. So I'm going to look at a couple dinks, and straight ahead is one of the big ones, because what happens a lot is we get like this, right? So now we're ending up hitting like all these little backhand punches. Those are pretty hard to be able to control. So what we're looking at when we're dinking is minimizing the extra motion, okay, keeping that paddle out in front of me, and not worrying about the next ball. But you see how that finish and follow through. Well, this is what a lot of you are doing, okay, and it's very, very hard to control the ball. The instinct is to move our feet too much, and we have to learn to move our hands. So if I'm going for a ball down below the net, I really care about finishing above the net towards my target, and now I'm right there ready for the next ball. Okay, so I'm not worried about I got to get my paddle back up or any of those types of things, because they don't really matter that much. Okay, if I'm hitting this ball, okay, and I'm doing these little backhands, and this is the big one. So look at how my elbow's bent like this. Okay, that causes a ton of errors. Okay, so when we're dinking or creating most of our shots, we want loose and long as much as possible. And when people get compressed, okay, and they get like super locked up, a few things happen. I always say, we avoid sharp edges. So look at all these sharp edges. My elbows are bent, my knees are super bent, my back is bent. That's a lot of strain and compression on the body. So what that does, if that ball is here, is we naturally start to move backwards because the weight's in our heels. Okay, so that position is really important. Okay? So now when I'm going cross court with my partner, okay, and I'm dinking in that position, what I really want to do is I'm in the same position. Here's my down the line. Here's my cross court. That difference is I'm adjusting my hips, but I'm still finishing my shot. So from this position, I'm cutting off the balls that are going to the corners. Okay, so I'm using my hands instead of chasing a ball backwards. And that's where a lot of players get stuck at, is they're letting too many balls bounce, and they're not taking balls in the air when they should be taking them in the air. And it's a difference of look to take that forehand. Okay, I can't stress this enough. A lot of recreational players get really stuck on backhand, backhand, backhand. And here's the big one. The reason why people feel like it's stronger is because if I'm not using my non-dominant hand, so my hand is, say, at my side, okay, that's the only way to keep the paddle in front of me. And so when I move to my forehand, it gets behind me. That's why people struggle. So when I have my hands out in front of me and I've got my forehand, that creates that consistency of having the paddle out in front of my body. It puts a position where I can do more with it. So a lot of times when I've got those 3-5s and 4-0s, one of the biggest things I say on a court is, why aren't you taking a forehand? Okay, and you see that a lot on this side of the court. I see people sliding to take a backhand instead of just turning the paddle and opening up. Okay, so if I'm taking this ball here, I can go across court, down the middle, down the line. If I'm sliding like this, I'm a little bit more limited on what I can do. So that range of motion is extremely important. Okay, so that's kind of a big part at the line. It's the same thing when transitioning. It's realizing that this transition zone is actually a great space to be. Okay, we're not avoiding this space. Okay, the more people learn how to work with their partners in hitting a third shot drop and looking for the opportunity to attack and accelerate in the mid-court zone, that's a huge factor, especially as they get higher and higher levels. Where players get stuck is they feel like I've got to be at the baseline or I've got to be at the non-volley line. And that is just simply not true. When coming forward, if I'm in this mid-court zone, I'm seeing what my opponent hits and seeing if I can attack and accelerate or if I need to decelerate and slow down. Okay? But overall, it's the recognition that I have choices. Okay? Getting yourself to be moving a whole lot less, simplifying your motions, and starting to focus on strategy and ball placement. These are key factors into getting to that next level.